Hi, welcome to Paletti Rosa Homestead. Well, today I have another video, and I thought I'd do one on Amos homemade bread. I've never made this, so you and me are going to do it together today, and let's see how it turns out. But I did hear it is very, very good. Don't mind me the bump in my head. My hair's doing what it wants to do, so I just got to do with it what it wants to do. But let's start doing that today, okay? So what you're going to need to start out with is a quarter cup of warm water, and you're going to need a cup of warm milk. You're going to need a quarter cup of sugar and one and a quarter teaspoons of yeast. Okay, so let's gather all those ingredients and let's see how this bread turns out, okay? Be right back. Okay, so I have all my ingredients and I have my bowl. I wish I could get it up higher. I'm trying, I just can't. Well, I'll show you when I'm doing it. So, you want to take your water, take your milk, and your sugar. And get a spoon and just stir it up a little bit. Then take your yeast, and I don't have the packets, I have the jars, and get 1.5 teaspoons. So that's a half. 1.25, I'm sorry. That's 1.25. And then you're just going to stir it up a little bit. And you're going to wait like 5 to 10 minutes to make sure it froths. And that way you know your yeast will be good. Why go through the whole process of making the bread and then your yeast is no good? Okay? So I will be back in 5 to 10 minutes as soon as it froths up. Okay? Be right back. Okay, so my yeast has got some bubbles in it, so that's a good thing. So now we want to start making the dough. So you need 3.5 cups of flour. You need a teaspoon of salt, and we use pink Himalayan salt here. You need a quarter, mix those two around a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create a little hole in the middle. Okay? So I have my little hole in the middle, and you're going to put in your butter, and your egg, and a large egg. Then mix that around just a little bit, get that going. And it's going to get clumpy, which is fine. Maybe I could take this away now. No, not really. Okay, sorry about that. Once you've got those mixed in, now you're going to take your mixture and put it in a little bit at a time. When making bread, the most important thing is your kneading. That's where you put all your love into bread. So, let me finish putting all this in, and I will be right back. Now here's where the love comes in. You want to take some of make sure your hands are nice and clean, mine are. And you want to take some of your flour and put it down. And then take your dough out. And put your love into it. You're going to feel a lot of lumps in it right now. And that's what you're supposed to feel. If it gets where it's sticking to your counter or whatever you're using, some people have those, I think they're from Tupperware. It's like a plastic thing, a plastic sheet that you put down, and you don't have to worry about any kind of sticking. That's your ultimate goal. You want, well, no, the ultimate goal is to get a nice, smooth texture. You don't want to feel any lumps. Keep on kneading it, rolling it over. I remember back in the old days, my grandmother would make bread all the time, and she'd say, you know it's done with the kneading when you have nothing left on your hand. Well, as you can tell, I've got a lot left on my hand. And I'm not done anyway, because I can feel lumps. So has anybody made bread before? Probably 90% of you. And I'm just wondering, what kind of, have you ever put stuff in your bread? Like, have you tried making a cheesy bread? I know my daughter makes cheesy rosemary bread, if I recall. Now, if you start losing your flour, put more down, especially if it's sticking. And I'm just sticking a little bit, so I only need a little bit here. Then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take this pan, because this container, because it has a lid. And that way I can let it do its first rise. Now my grandmother, she used to put her dough for the first rise in the oven. They didn't have microwaves. But she used to put it in, oh, now I'm getting sticky again. She used to put it in the stove. Not on, but in the stove. When I'm tending to get to the middle of it, it's getting stickier. So the outside is good. The inside's not good. Now on this show, on this channel, I have made no knead bread. That's kind of neat. But roll it out. Get to that middle part, because if it's too sticky, and I'm sticking still, if it's too sticky, you got to get a little bit more flour on it. Take your fingers, go into it. Then roll it. Yeah, see, I'm sticking. I'm sticking on my counter again. I don't know how true this is, but I've heard people say elevation plays a lot in the kneading process. So we are up there because we are in the mountains. I'm starting to feel some of the bumps come out. And as you can tell, even though I'm going in the middle, I'm not sticking. Okay, I am going to get off for a minute. I'm going to finish kneading, washing my hands, and get my bowl clean. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, then get it into a nice little bowl like I've got right there. Now, you could use butter, you can use oil, whatever you want, but you're going to coat your little bowl right here. Okay? And somebody Grammy taught me how to do it. You coat your hands and then go around. Make sure you get it lightly coated all the way around. I don't think I did that enough. And you don't do a lot. I think I just did too much. That's why I'm going like that. And coat your bowl. Then you're going to put it into, you could do a bowl like this. And cover it, well, smaller. And cover it with a paper towel. Paper towel, good one's on it. Cover it with your kitchen towel. Or however you want to do it. I'm putting it in this. And then you are going to put it into a dark, warm place for an hour and a half. Hour to hour and a half. Here it usually takes an hour and a half. And that will be your first rise. Okay? I'm not going to have you sit here for an hour, hour and a half. So I will be back when that time is up. Okay? Don't go nowhere. One more trick I forgot to tell you about. I remember my grandmother back in the old days, she would put hers in the oven, and that's what I'm doing. And she'd always say, turn on the oven light. And I'd be like, turn on the oven light? Yeah, the oven light gives out a little bit of heat. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of heat. That will help it rise. So maybe instead of an hour and a half, I'm only going to have to wait an hour. We will see. I'll be back. Don't forget that tip. Well, here it is at 1 hour. It hasn't doubled yet. So I'm going to put it in for the extra 30 minutes. Okay. My bread didn't actually rise double. I would say probably 75%. So I'm going to do it anyway because like I told you, I always want to show you the good, bad, and ugly. I got a feeling that maybe my yeast isn't at 100%. So I am going to get more yeast. But let's work on this now. What you want to do is you want to get a little bit of a floured surface in front of you again. So again, just put some flour down. And take your bread out. You want to pound out any bubbles. Oh, okay, there were some bubbles in there. Then what you want to do is you want to shape it into a loaf. Pinch anything together. Now, just because mine didn't have probably as many air pockets, bubbles that you should have. Okay, there's my loaf. So I will not have as big of a loaf as I should have. And it has nothing to do with anything else. It has nothing to do with the recipe itself. It happens to be my yeast. So time to buy another thing of yeast. Okay, so now what you want to do is after you got it into a loaf, make sure you check underneath. Now my underneath fell apart, so I need to get this together by pinching it all together. Because both sides must and do like I do if you have to, just pinch it together like that. I was really hoping for some nice bread tonight, but it looks like I'll have a smaller loaf than what I should. I said that already. My husband's saying it must be the yeast. Yes, it is the yeast. Okay, so got a nice loaf here, pinched my sides together. Now I use glass pans. So take it and get it into your glass pan. And this is where you can make your loaf if you want. And now you're going to do your second rise. And when you do your second rise, you want it to go over the top of this. Mine hopefully will get to the top. That's the count. Okay, so I'll be right back. You can all call me Bab. I forgot. It's got to be green. So I just took mine out real quick. And I'm just going to pour some olive oil in. Yes, you can use spray. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get your corners. Whatever you do, make sure you get them corners. That's what always happens with me. I don't know what it is, but this time I'm making sure. Okay, once you got it greased, again, take your bread, put it in, and give it a little bit more of a shaping. Now for your second rise, you want to turn around and put it in the oven again with the light on, and you want to cover this with a towel. And what you want it to do is you want it to rise about an inch up. An inch from like over the top you're hoping for. Okay, so that's mine. I am going to take my towel, put it over the top, and put it back in the oven again for about 30 to 45 minutes, we'll say. Okay, so I will be back. Okay, we're at the end here. I just took it out. Really didn't rise that much, but it did rise somewhat. So now what you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 350 and you want to put this in for 25 to 35 minutes. And then you're all done. Just think. A nice loaf of homemade bread. And there really wasn't much to it except, just sitting around waiting for it to rise. Okay, I'll be back as soon as it's all done. Well, here it is. It does have some black spots on top, and that is because I was stupid and used my little toaster oven. And so it got a little bit too high. But there's the bread, and it looks delicious. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for visiting the Paletti Rosa homestead, and God bless everyone.